Just for recording purpose, I just started. In the last class, we've seen about creating a calculation view and exposing it for reporting with business objects. Now, today we're getting into details about the different types of joins available. Because in the calculation view, we have different operations which can be leveraged to model your data, like union, join, projection, aggregation. Yeah. So we're looking at joins now. Okay. Because in the the purpose of the join operation is to join two source objects. It could be table or the projection nodes or the aggregation nodes or whatever it is. We can join two source objects, only two. Yeah? And when you want to join them, basically there are different types of joins you can perform, like inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer, referential join, text join, all this. Now we're getting into details of all these joins, when to use what type of join. Okay, that's the point we're trying to focus here on. Okay, so what we have done is we have taken up three tables to understand about joins. One is we have the state table with two columns. One is state. If you see this slide, I have a table called state with the two columns here. One is the state column and state name. I've got two states. MI is for MI, and the state name is Michigan, and AL for Alabama. So I've got two records in the state table. This one and two is for your reference to know the two records, but this is not a column in the table. So this has got only two columns. One is state and state name with two records in it, Michigan and Alabama. Then I've got a table called customer with actually four columns in it. One is customer CID, C name, state, and age. Where I've got four customers, one, two, three, and four. And for each of the customer, I've got the name. One indicates Warner, and two is for Mark, three is for Tom, and four is for Bob. And customer one and two belong to which state bus? I see it as MI. From this MI, if I can join this table, I get to see the name of the state as Michigan. Yeah. And age is 10, 12, and then I see the customer 3 and 4, they belong to a state called TX. TX is Texas, but the information about the state Texas is not available in the state table. Is not maintained in this table. Okay, good. Let's see. Next, I've got another table called sales order table. See, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is just a counter, just to show you that there are 5 records. Okay, but the sales order table has got a column called order ID, and then customer ID, and then amount of us. So I've got, if you look at the order ID, I've got 5 orders. Order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. It's very important you know the data when you got to understand the joins. I've got order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 of us. 5 orders. And if you look at this order 1 and 2 is performed by which customer is 1, and the name of the customer 1 is Warner, and he belongs to state Michigan. If you look at the order ID 3, which customers perform this? So from the order table, I know the ID. Once I get to know the ID, if I join my customer table, I'll be able to see his name is Mark, and he also belongs to Michigan. And if you look at the order ID 4, it's performed by customer 4, and customer 4 belongs to, name is Bob, and he belongs to Texas. But I see order ID 8 is performed by customer 77, but where the 77 customer is not maintained in this customer table. Okay, and there's no customer record in the customer table with the number as 77 here. Okay, this is the data what I have got. Okay, good. Let's get on. Now these are the different types of joins what we have: inner join, left outer join, right outer join, referential join, text join, and temporal joins. So I know pretty much of you would already be knowing about inner, left, right, temporals, but referential and text would be more specific to SAP HANA. Okay, good. Now, how does inner join work? Inner basically when you join two source objects or two tables with inner join, what it does is it fetches only the common values from both this. So whenever you join two source objects or two tables with inner join, it only gets you the common values from both the tables. Yeah. So when you go with left outer join, when you join two source objects with left outer join, what it does is it gets the common values from both the tables plus unmatched values from the left table also or left operand. So first it gets the matching values from both the tables, and also if you have any values which are unmatched from left table will also be returned out. But same way when you look at right outer, it does give you the common values from when you join two tables or two source objects with right outer join. It does get you the common values from both the tables and also the unmatched values from the right table also. Unmatched values from the right table. Yeah. That's about right outer join. Then there is something called referential join, which is very important. So now look at this. Concentrate on this first. Say you have two tables, table 1 and table 2, which are joined with, let's say, referential join. Then how does it behave, boss? What does it do is, what does it do is, let's say I've got table 1 and table 2 joined with referential join. Then how does it behave, boss? Okay, now good. Right, now understand this. Whenever you perform a select on this particular join, where you're trying to read columns from table 1 and table 2, only then the join is performed, and if the join is performed it will be an inner join. You got what I'm saying? Say I've joined, let's say, table 1 and table 2 with referential join. Then, and when I try to perform a query onto this joined object, and if the query is reading data from if the query is reading some columns from table 1 and table 2, okay, please join with your name, bus. Okay. So if you're running a query by selecting columns from table 1 and table 2, okay, then the join is performed. If the join is performed, then it is performing an inner join. But if you're writing a query where you're reading data only from reading the columns from only from table 1, only the columns from table 1, then the join is not performed at all. There is no join executed. Straight away it reads data from table 1. That is referential join. But please do join with your name. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to disconnect. But please, please do join with your name. Who is this waiting for name? Please join with your name. Yeah? Okay, boss. That's your referential join. And one more point is referential join is only executed by your OLAP engine. So for your information, we have three views, right? Attribute view, analytical view, and calculation view. Attribute view is executed by join engine. Analytical view is executed by OLAP engine, and calculation view is executed with calculation engine. Uh, okay. Attribute view is executed by join engine, and analytical view is executed with OLAP engine, and calculation view is executed with calculation engine. And this referential join is recognized only by your OLAP engine only. Means it does make sense to use referential join when you're using analytical view only. You understand this, right? Whenever I join two tables with referential join, only when you're reading columns from both these tables, it performs a join. And if it is performing a join, it performs inner join. And it is only recognized by OLAP engine. And if I'm having a query which is reading only from only one table, then there is no join performed at all. It straight away reads from table 1. So that's why what they say is we have to use referential join in a case where you trying to join two tables where they both guarantee referential integrity for 100%. Means, say for example, generally when do you join when you want to find the common data across the two tables, right? Only when there are two tables which are 100% satisfying you the referential integrity between both these tables, only then you go with referential join. The best example could be sales header, so header table and item table. Say for example, in the header table, I'll have the sales order header information. If I go to item, I'll have the item details of the sales order. So can you ever think about a scenario where there is a sales order in the item table, but the information of the sales order is not maintained in the header? Never, right? So if I see some sales order data in item level, that will 100% it will have the corresponding header information in the sales order header table. So in this kind of scenario, when you look at header and item, they will 100% guarantee you the referential integrity. So in those cases, I would prefer to go with referential join only in case of analytical view, because that is what execute with OLAP engine does. Why? Because when I try to run the query, which is reading data only from table 1, so it does not execute join. So since it is not executing join, I will only consider this kind of joins when there is always a matching value in the other table, which is matching referential integrity with other tables. That's where we go with referential join. Then there is something called text join. Generally, what happens in SAP, since it supports multi-language, since it supports multiple language, we have in SAP we'll have a concept called text tables, where the descriptions are maintained in multiple languages. We call them as text tables. For example, say I have product master data, so I have some table where I'm storing some material master. So let's say for each material, I would like to maintain description in multiple languages. Say if I maintain in English and German, when I log in and run my reports in English, I can get to see English language description. When I log into German and look at the report, I'll be able to get to see the German description. Yeah. So when you want to support multiple languages like this, you obviously try to maintain the description in multiple languages first. So whenever you maintain the descriptions in multiple languages, we refer that as text tables. So whenever you want to join these text tables to the main dimension, like say I want to join my uh, metal text table to metal master table, or product text table to product master, or any company code text data with company code master table. So whenever you want to join basically the text tables or description tables, which is holding in multiple languages to the main dimension table, we basically go with the text join bus. Internally, it actually performs. We'll see how it actually works in. So it basically does two things. It works like a left outer join, and it does happen to do filtering on the language column based on the login language. So if I log in with English, it does filter the text table with English, then performs the left outer join. If I try to log in with German and then execute my view, first it filters the text table with German language data, then it takes this German data and then performs a join, which will be left outer join. we'll see that example so it will be more clear. That's a text join. Then we have something called temporal join. Basically, we use this temporal joins when you want to go with the join the key date with the validity period. For example, I've got table 1, I've got table 2. Table 1, let's say, has got some date of transaction, and table 2 has got date 2 and date from as two columns. So my join condition is uh, transaction date from table 1 should be greater than the date from and should be less than the date 2 columns of the table 2. So when I want to have this kind of join, we go with temporal joins. And this is only available in analytical view. We can also do that in calculation view also. We'll see that. Mainly in analytical view. Now let's look at this. So when you say temporal join, so when you want to join a situation a scenario where I've got a date key date field in one table and column date to and date from in another table, and I would like to join a scenario where I say the key date falls between this validity period from and to of the table. So T1 dot key date should be greater than date from T2 dot date from and less than T2 dot date 2. So when I want to have this kind of join condition with the date validity, I go with temporal joins. So that's what these are the joins which we're going to look at. Okay, good. Let's see this. So to demonstrate this, what I've done, I think we already have the schema cubex, right, which we imported already. In this, I already have three tables with the same data. I've got J state. There's a table called J state with those two records. MI indicates Michigan, AL indicates Alabama. Then there's another table again already as J customer with those three customer IDs 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 belongs to Michigan, and the 3 and 4 belongs to Texas. Okay, and then I've got J orders, which is your sales order data, with order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8, and 1 and 2 performed by customer 1, and 3 with 2, 4 with 4, and 8 order with 77 customer. And all the 5 orders has got amount equal amount 100, 100, 100. So the transaction amount of every sales order is 100. So that if you, what is my total sales order value? What is my total sales amount was? What is the total sales amount? I'm going to unmute you all. But I'm going to unmute you all. You mute yourself from your side, and then so you can unmute and speak whenever required. Yeah? So what is the total transaction value of all the 5 orders?
500.
500. Yeah. Yeah. Once you speak that way, please mute yourself. Yeah. Okay. Good. So total transaction value is 500 bucks, right? Yeah. Good. So now let's see how does that work now. Now let's see this. Let me create one calculation view. I would say ZCV. I'm just creating one calculation view to make you understand inner join. Calculation view standard is fine. Look, bus, mute yourself, please, so that you can talk when you have some doubt. You can talk. Mute yourself. Standard graphical is fine. I don't want any. Yeah, let's go with the cube. Fine, no problem. And say finish. Graphical cube. Okay, fine. Now what I want is basically I would like to join. Look at this. The scenario was what about? Scenario was about we want to connect the sales order table to the customer table, and then the customer table to be linked to the state tables. That's what I want. Let's get in. So first, I'll let me take the sales. Straight away, I can take the join, and then I can take those two nodes. Can say add. What is it? J orders, right? And search for the table, which is from cubic schema file. Then I would like to add one more. What was it? J customer from cubics. Done. So I've got these two tables. Now I would like to join. So the common column is C underscore ID. See, the common column name need not be same. The data must be same. Now here I've got C underscore ID. Here it could be C underscore NO, no problem. But if the data elements or the content of the data is matching, that's fine. As long as the data element is same, I'm fine. Okay, I'm not worried about the name to be same or not. Okay. Now I would like to join these two. So I'll say right click, create join, J orders. So left table is J orders and the right table is customer. So in case of inner join, we don't worry on left or right. So what is the join type I want? Inner join. And what is the join column? The CID must be joined with this CID. Done? Okay. And I want to see the order. I want to see the customer. I want to see the amount. And I want to see the state name, customer name, state name, and age name. Age, sorry, not age name, age. That's it. I just selected these as my output columns. Select it to my aggregation. So my aggregation is about amount, right? Amount is the actual measure. So I'd say right click, add as aggregated columns. Then others, I just select it as normal. Customer name, state, and then say add to output. That's it. I'll say auto assign. So it will assign. But see, order ID is taking as measure. So it is actually an attribute. Because of the data, it is taken like that. These are numbers, right? So it is taking as measure. But I want these as attributes. That's it. Activate. Now, see, I've joined my orders tables with customer with an inner join as CID bus. So tell me what will be my output. By looking at this data, tell me what will be my output. So what will be the order in the output? What orders will I be able to see?
First four orders, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you will be able to see only the first four orders, 1, 2, 3, 4, because order ID does not have the corresponding customer in the other table bus. Because the order 8 does not have a customer 77 in the customer table, so that will be missed out. Yeah? That is what inner join. Now let's see. It only takes the common values. If you see order ID 1 and 2, they belong with customer ID 1, which is there in this table, customer ID 1. And order ID 3 has got customer ID 2, so it has got a corresponding entry in customer, so that is picked out. And order ID 4 has got customer ID 4, which has got corresponding entry in this table, customer ID 4, so it is picked out. But when it comes to order 88, it does not have a customer 77 in the customer table, so it does not pick this record. There's no common value for this customer 77. It does not find a matching record in this table customer, so that record is not picked out. Okay, so look at the problem. Now let's see the content. Oh, sorry, I'm not activated it. I'm done. I think it's coming with errors. What is the error? Okay, user is not authorized. Okay, so I'm using the tables from the schema cubics. I told you whenever we're accessing, the sys repo user must have access to that schema, otherwise you'll not be able to activate. So let me go to who is that sys underscore, where is the sys repo? So I'll go to the sys repo user, grant him with the permissions with the schema. Which schema was cubics? This mine and all. minus cubex, right? EF cubex schema. Then I must give him minimum select access plus, and he should be able to grant it to others. So, could not grant privileges cubex. You are not authorized to perform this activity. So, because I've logged into this HANA system with which user Han, right? This particular user does not have access. So I'm just let me say add the same system with different user. I have a user called system which can do anything. So I'm logging in. So this will be done by your administrator. Don't worry. So I'll get into system users and I go to uh, sysrepo object privileges. Which catalog object I want to give? See schema tables everything will be catalog object. So we go to object privileges and I would say cubex alphabetical. So cubex. So this person will be able to give grant access. So that's it. So user is changed. So I've granted select access on this schema cubex to this user sysrepo because sysrepo is the user who actually does maintain the modeling content. So now let me activate. Look at the activation. So now the activation is successful, right? Now let me see the data. Now if you see the data, I can see the raw data here. So now you get to see only the four orders. Order ID 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's like an inner join. Now still I want to get on with this. Let's delete this out because I also want to get this information about the state also. Okay. So I'll say join. Again, the joined results of orders and customer is again joined to another node because I want to join to another table. Because in one node, one join node, I can only join two objects. Okay. So when I want to join with third, again I go with another join operator. Then this time add another table J. What is that? I want to get into with J state. I got the state key here, and for the key I know the name from this. So what I'll do, I go about joining them. So again, create join. Left table is the join node operator. J state. I would like to go with what? Inner join again. I would like to go with the state. So again, I'm performing an inner join of the. See what was the result I'm getting from the first join. That result set is again joined with another table called J state based on the state. So again, when you have inner join, it only picks in the matching records from both the join node and the state where the state is matching out, right? Mhm. Now take this result to the aggregation view. Sorry, I've not selected anything here. Select, I want what all you want from table 1 and from table 2, I just want the state name. Then now you get to see aggregation. So amount, I'll add it as aggregated column. At output. Was this is attribute customer. Since those values are now numerics, it is going with measure was activate. So activated. Now if I try to see the content, what information do you get? What will be your output? If I try to see the result, what is the output do you get now? See what it is trying to do. First, the sales order is joined with the customer ID as the inner join. So order ID 8 is removed out because order ID 8 is performed by customer 77 and the 7 it does not find a matching record in the customer table. So you get the result like order ID 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the corresponding customer 1, 2, and 4. Now for customer 1 and 2, you have Michigan, which is having a corresponding entry in the state. MI indicates Michigan. But when it comes to customer 4 record, who is Bob, he belongs to Texas, but the Texas does not have a corresponding entry in state. So when it comes to the joining of this Texas to state, the record fails and does not find some matching value, and then this record of order ID is 4 goes out. You all understand this? Was any issues here? See, in the first join, it is resulting order 4 because it is finding the match between customer ID 4 in sales order table and customer ID 4 in customer table. But when in the next level of join, where you're joining with the state, for customer 4, the state is Texas TX, which does not have a matching entry in state, so the customer 4 record is gone. So it does not find any matching value, so the record is gone out. Yeah. Now let's see the problem what you get. Now what will be the what orders do you get and what will be the total order amount was? Any thought?
First three orders will come on 300.
Yeah, okay. You will just get the first 3 orders and it will be 300. Now look at this. Raw data. What we got? We got order ID 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there is no Texas. I think it's not still changed. Sorry. No, it is not changing. One second. One second. Was it? Now it's changing again. Yeah. Now look at this. So I just get to see only 3 orders: order ID 1, order ID 2, and order ID 3, and I only see as 300. So 2 orders have been missing out. So you see some problem. So when you're trying, you've modeled it with some logic, and then you're expecting actually the 5 orders to be coming out, but you only get to see 3. And then I just want to see where the problem is, at which operation the records are missing out. So what I can do, we can debug like this. I can select off rack. I can select the node 1 and say right click data preview. So I want to see till this point what was my data. So till this point, it was able to pick up the order number 1, 2, 3, and 4, because it does not pick order ID 8 because it was having customer ID 77, which does not have a matching entry in the customer table. So that's where the record ID 8 has missed out, order ID. And these 4 records, which is the result of the first join operation, must mute. It will affect your recording. Yes. So these 4 orders again will be joined with the next operation in the state. Now let's see what happens at this operation. So data preview. If I get in, so you get to see order ID 1, 2, 3. So order ID 4 is gone out because it does not find a match with the Texas in the state, TX in the state columns. So did you understand about inner join now? Done? Now look at the change what I'm trying to do. Look at the change what I'm trying to do. In the first, it is still the inner join. I'm not touching it. But in the second join operation, this is inner join right. I'm making this as left outer. Left outer means what? So what is my left table here? Left operand is the join result of the first join one operation. So what are the result we're getting from the join one? That will be the left operand, and the right operand is your state table. Now if I go with left outer, what happens? So the matching entry with Michigan is joined with this. Okay, fine. But there is an entry in the joint result which is Texas, which does not have a corresponding entry in the state, but will it still be projected out? Yes or no? In left outer join, what happens? If it finds matching entry in the other table, you get that out. Plus, it also picks up the records from the left operand, which has even it picks up the unmatched values from the left operand also, right? So it does pick up the order ID 1, 2, 3 because they belong to customer ID 1 and 2, which they belong to Michigan in the state. But if you look at order ID 4, which happens to have a customer with 4, first inner join, and that does not have a corresponding state entry in the state table, but that will still be picked up because it doesn't, because the left order join will pick the data which does even though it does not have a corresponding matching entry in the right bus. So matching plus unmatched values from the left table, which is your left operand here. Okay. Let's see now. This time what will be the result bus? This time what will be the result bus? How many orders will it show?
Four orders. First.
4 orders. Then my next question is, for order ID 4, what will be the value in the column state name, S name?
It will be blank.
It will be blank. Good. Because it does not find any value. Now go to the raw data. Now we've got order ID 1, order ID 2, order ID 3, and order ID 4. But for order ID 4, it does not have any value in the state. Look at this, it is question mark indicating null. So it does not have any of these values in the state. Got this? So this is okay. Now let me do this way. Even in the join one operation, I'm going to make this as again left outer. So what is my left table? Order table. Order table is my left outer join, and my customer table is in the right. So left operand is my orders table, right operand is my customer table, and I'm performing a join with the customer and saying left order. So left order means what? It does perform a join with the matching entries in both this table, plus it also picks up the unmatched values from the left operand, which is my orders. So if I do change like this, and what? Let me first say save. There's some problem. I'm making it as left out. It is already left out. Okay, done. So now what will be the result? First, mute only when you speak, just unmute. That's it. Now what will be the result now? See, the first join operation between orders and customer is left outer. So obviously it has to pick up the orders, even the orders which does not have a corresponding entry in the customer table. So how many orders you get? So it should bring out all the 5 orders, and the result of this 5 orders is again joined with the corresponding state table, again with the left outer join. So again the 5 orders are joined with the state table. So it does find a match only with Michigan, but does not find any match with other states. So it should still be able to fetch all the orders, but does not have corresponding entries of the states. Now let's look at this. Now if you look at this, now how many orders do I see? Order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So I'm not missing out any of this order in my reporting. So I'm able to still see the orders which does not have corresponding master data, corresponding customer, corresponding state entries. I'm not missing any orders. So the total order value, it will still show as 500 for me now. So I get to see the customer ID, but for customer ID 77, I don't see the name, I don't see the state, I don't see the age, I don't see the state name. Why? Because customer 77 does not have an entry maintaining customer table and does not have entry corresponding to the state. So there's no customer entry, so does not know any state. Doesn't When you don't know any state, there's no point in knowing the state name. For order ID 4, you don't get to see state name because for order 4, you see an entry in the customer table with 4 as Bob, but does not have an entry in the state table because the Texas is not made in the state table, so the state name is blank. This is your left outer join. Okay, boss. Hmm. Now I'm going to do this way. I think if I do it here, to get confused. Now this one I'm doing it. I'm saying it as right outer boss. Now when you say right outer is what? Now what is the scenario? I've got left operand as orders. I've got right operand as customers, and I'm joining based on the column customer ID by using right outer join. So what does this mean? It does give me the result of the matching values plus the unmatched values from the customer table was. So uh, so it does give me the matching values plus unmatched values from the customer table, right? That's what write out, because right table is my customer table now. What values will this give me? How many orders will it return for me in this case? No, I don't want the entire view. For this join operation, how many orders will it return? So it should fetch me common values in the sense, again, our customer ID 1 matches it out, 2 matches out, and then 4 does not, 4 also matches out, 77 does not match. But there is a customer 3 which does not have a corresponding entry in, which does not have a corresponding entry in uh, orders. Then let's see what should be the result now. Let's see. So I'm not worried about the entire view, only this join operation. Right click on this and set data preview. So what will result? So it does give me the orders with common entries in the customer table, and also the unmatched values of other customers. Okay, now see, I get to see order ID 1, 2, 3, and 4 because they have corresponding entries in the customer table. But you see, I still getting the customer ID 3, Tom and Texas here, but does not know the amount, does not know the order ID. Why? I have customer 3, but he has not performed any transaction yet. I have customer 3, but he has not performed any transaction yet. That's why I get to see this is the right outer join. So it fetches me the matching values and the unmatched values from the right tables. In left outer, how it was able to fetch from right table, sorry, left table. In the right outer, it does fetch it from the right table. Yeah, good. This should be okay. Then there is an option called full outer. Okay, if I go with full outer means what? It takes the matching values from the left and right tables. So it picks up the unmatched value from left table. It also picks up unmatched values from right table also. Everything comes up. It's like left plus right. Okay. You understand, like inner plus left plus right. Okay. So it picks up the matching values between both the source objects, and then it picks up the unmatched values from the left, plus it picks up the unmatched values from the right also. Now let's see what should happen. How many orders you should see? I get to see all the 5 orders. And what all customer data I get to see? I get to see all the 4 customer data. Yeah. So let's look at this operation, data preview, and see what are there. Look at this. I see customer order ID 8 with customer 7, but does not have any corresponding entries of customer. But I see a customer data with customer ID later. Okay, I'll tell why it is. See, it does not have customer ID because I'm reading this customer ID column from orders table. That's why it does not. But if I read the customer ID from the customer table, I'll be getting the customer ID as 3, but I'll not get it here. That's fine. But the Tom is nothing but your customer ID 3. It's showing, but it does not have any corresponding order performed. So it is fetching the entry orders which does not have a customer. It is also fetching an entry of customer which does not have orders also. That is the full out. Okay. Good. Mm, for referential. I want to show you the problem of differential. Okay, same. I just take only two tables. I've got left table and I've got right table. Mm. And I say my join is referential join. So what is that referential? I said referential join would be what? You'll have two source objects. Join with referential means it will perform the join. It will perform the join only when you have a query which is reading data from both the tables. So if I'm trying to read the columns from both these tables, only then the join is performed. And if the join is performed, it will be inner join. But if I have my query running, let's say I join both of this, but I run my query saying select order ID and amount. So where I'm only reading the columns from table one only. Then there's no join is performed, and straight away picks up data from table one. So the performance is much faster when join is not executed. But if I try to execute a query saying give me state and amount, so since in this kind of query you're trying to read data from both the tables, then the join is performed. If it performs the join, it will be an inner join. It will be an inner join. Okay. Now let me show you that. And I also told you one thing. Remember overlap engine. Okay. Now let's see. First, let's see calculation. So in this, what I want is amount and right click, add as aggregate columns. Add to output. Okay. Add to. Now let's run this output and see what is output you get. What is output you're getting? How many orders? Order ID 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Do you see any difference in the output with respect to inner join? Is the output of referential join and inner join, is it same or not? It is only fetching me the orders which has got a corresponding entry in the customer. So order ID 1 and 2, they belong to customer ID 1, and 3 belongs to customer ID 2, and 4 belongs to 4. And there was an order ID with order ID 8 with customer 77 does not come out because does not find a matching value in customer table. And there is a customer with 3 which does not have a corresponding entry in the sales, that doesn't come in. So is it not result is like inner join, boss? Anyone? You understand this?
Yes.
Is result same
Yes,
as in
sir. Yes.
inner join, right? Means what?
Yes.
When I see the raw data, it means I'm saying select star from this column view. I'm saying select star from both. Means I am reading data from both these tables. I'm reading data from both these tables. So obviously the join is executed. If it is executing, it is executing an inner join. Okay. To demonstrate. Remember, okay, I'll come to that. Okay. Now I told you yesterday. From 2 days, I've been telling you that whenever you deploy or whenever you activate a calculation view, it does create one column view. Yes. In which schema bus? It will be in which schema? Sys big schema. So whenever you activate or whenever you deploy a calculation view, it automatically creates a column view in sysbig schema bus. And what is this? SZCV inner, right? Now let me see that column view. Cubics, not cubics. So it will be in which schema bus? Sys underscore big. That is a system schema. You don't have to worry on that. Sys underscore BIC. Now let me filter for that schema. Get in and it will have what? Column view, right? Let me filter the instead of seeing all. Let me filter ZCV underscore inner. Okay. Good. This is my view. Don't worry about hierarchy also. This is the main column view for me. Right click. I can see the data preview from here also. See, the same as it as good as seeing data from your calculation view. Yeah? So I get to see the same for. Okay. Now can I also write a SQL on this just to understand much more? So it's like column view is like normal. It's virtual, not like a table, but it's like a virtual table. Okay. It does not have any data in it, but runtime it fetches the data as per the logic in the model. I can also write a select on this. Say select. star from this column B, which is from the sysbig scheme. I'm just running this. You just like write a normal select. Okay. So I get to see the same result what I could see like with open content, which is like result of inner join. Okay, good. Now let's say I'm doing this way. Select order ID, comma, then sum of amount, comma, from this. Because whenever I have aggregation function, I must say group by order. Is it order ID or order order underscore ID? Hmm. Do you understand this query? What I'm trying to do? I'm just trying to say, just give me order ID and their corresponding amount and their corresponding amount where group by order, because I've got aggregation function. I'm saying perform by order ID, yes. Group by order ID. Now let's see what will be the result of this. Okay, how many orders it is showing? What is the total number of orders you have, boss? What is the total number of orders you have? 5, right? Order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. But what is how many orders do you see in the output? You only see output of 4 orders. Order ID 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're missing out 8. Means it is because of the join. Now, if you look at this query, in fact, I'm only reading order ID. I'm only querying amount. Both these columns are from one table or two tables. The column order ID and the column amount is from the same table or from both two tables, or from the same table.
From two.
No, this is from same table, right? Order ID and amount column both are in orders table only. So what is the referential join? I said whenever I'm writing a query which is reading data only from table, only one table, then join should not be performed. When join should not be performed, or when join is not performed, I must see all the 5 orders. Must mute. When the join is not performed, it must be showing me all the 5 orders. Even though I am reading columns from only one table, it is still performing join, bus. Because as per the definition of the referential join, what did I say? Whenever I read columns from two tables, both the tables, only then the join must be performed. And if the join is performed, it has to be an inner join, I said, right? But I have I built my calculation view with referential join, right? Either I'm reading all the columns, it is executing the join. Either I'm reading columns from one table only, it is also executing join. So is actually the referential join working here? Is actually referential join working?
No.
No. Why?
No.
Why no? Why no? Why is referential join not working in calculation view?
Because these two columns are from a single table only.
Yeah, see, as per the definition of referential join, whenever I read data from columns only from one table, join must not be executed, which is a referential join. The definition of referential join itself says you, if you're reading columns from both the tables, then join it has to be executed, then the join should be inner join. If you're reading data only from only one table, then join should not be executed. So if the join is not executed means what? Read all the data from table 1. Is that behavior happening now? Are you getting the expected behavior of referential join in the calculation? Are you getting it? Whatever we understood as part of the definition, are we getting that? No, right? See, when I say star, I'm trying to read columns from both the tables, right? Then also the join is performed, I'm getting 4 orders. Even when I have a query which is running, which is reading only from the columns from table 1, which is order ID and amount, only orders table, even then it is showing only 4. It has to show 5 orders, right? Because the join should not be performed. When I'm reading data from only orders table, join should not be executed, and it has written me all the 5 orders. That is referential join, right? So referential join is not working out here because if you remember, I said I gave you one point. Attribute view is executed with join engine. Analytical view is executed with overlap engine, and calculation view is executed with calculation engine. And referential join is only recognized by your analytical view, nothing but only by overlap engine only. Now let me show you. Hmm. Let me create calculation view. Don't worry on this. It is only for referential join. I'm just showing. This is very simple. It's not a big. RF join. Okay, analytical view. Then you'll have something like data foundation and star join. In the data foundation, you basically take the facts, which is your orders. You don't have to worry. I can take orders, and I can take here itself. I'll take customer. I'll not go too much. So I'll try to perform a join here. So I'm performing join in analytical view. Create join. Your left table is orders, and the right table is a customer. Then I would like to join it on the customer table ID, and then which is what? What is this? Referential join. Okay, say okay, fine. I want all these 3 columns from this. I want these 3 from this. That's it. And then I have this all this done. Okay, I don't want any other things to be done. So I have auto assign measure cannot be identical. Okay. Only thing when you use multiple tables here, in which column do you have the measure bus amount orders, right? Just specify this as and go to data foundation, specify central entity as your orders. Because we got to specify the main table where the measures are referred, just specify that. That's fine. Let's say auto assign and then was order is attribute, this amount is alone measure, then active. This is your analytical view. Simple, nothing much. Simple. So I built my analytical view. Even when you create this analytical view, it actually creates a column view. Look at this. In fact, any view bus, either you create attribute view or analytical view or calculation view, it actually creates the the column view. Now let me see the content like similar to calculation. What is the result bus? How many orders are you getting? 5 or 4? Simple bus. If you're trying to see all the 5 orders, order ID, order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8, then you're seeing 5. But you're in how many orders do you see? Only 4. If you're seeing 4 orders means what? It is performing inner join. It is showing only the customers which has got, it is only showing the orders which has got the corresponding entry of customer in the customer table. It is not showing others, right? Huh? Why it is not showing order ID 8 was? Why do we don't have the order ID 8 in the output?
Because we are selecting from columns from all the 2 tables.
Okay, so if you're selecting columns from 2 tables, what is happening?
It will act as an inner join.
Exactly.
Inner join as it's
Yeah. Exactly. When you're reading columns from both the tables, it is executing the join, which is your inner join. So when it comes to inner join, it only brings up the matching values, right? So if you look at order ID 8 is performed by customer 77, and the 77 customer is not available in the customer master, so this join fails out. So order ID 8 is not returned to us, right? Good. Now so then you didn't find much difference of referential join in inner join. Let's see this. REF join, right? Now so again let me go to column view. Again, it's this big schema. Just say refresh. Column view. Let me filter the column view now for ZAN underscore REF job. So this is the OLAP view, because if you this will use the OLAP engine. So don't worry about the hierarchy, all this. Now let's have SQL query written. Now give me the answers for this. Now let me write some query. I'll say select star from this column view, which is nothing but your analytical views, which is from SysBig. So what is it I'm trying to do with this query? What is it I'm trying to do with this query was I'm trying to read all the columns of the view.
All the columns.
Exactly. When I'm trying to read all the colors, what happens? It is actually going to fetch. I'm reading the data from both the tables. So when you read data from both the tables, obviously the join should get executed, and it has to perform an inner join. If it performs inner join, what should be the order amount? Now let's see. Okay. Now I'm just looking at this one. I'm writing a query like this. Select sum of amount from this. So what will be the value?
400.
What will be the value? 400. Why 400? Yeah.
400.
500.
Why 500 was?
500.
Why 500?
No, it should be 400 only because it takes the first four rows, which has the row number, order number 8 will not be there.
Why order number 8 will not be there?
Because we used referral join, which acts as inner join again.
It acts as an inner join.
But it acts as inner join.
Only matchable values it will.
Exactly. It acts as inner join only when you're reading from both the tables.
Put
If
the tables. Only matchable values.
Exactly. But now I'm only reading amount. Is it in only one table or is it in both tables?
Only one table.
Only from one table.
If it is one table,
Amount will be only in one table.
When the amount is in only one table, will it play the join?
No, it will not play the join.
No,
When
will
it
not apply the join.
Exactly. When it doesn't play the join, will it restrict any of the orders?
Yes, it will restrict the orders too.
No. When join is not played,
No.
logically, when the join is not played, it has to bring out all the orders, right?
Yes, but in the previous example, when we execute this, we saw only 4.
Yeah, why?
And we didn't.
Exactly. When I say star, obviously you see 4. Why? When I say star means what? You're saying I want order ID. I want order ID from orders table. I want customer number from customer table. I want customer name from customer table. So I want again amount from orders. You're reading data from 2 columns, both 2 tables. You're reading the data at columns from 2 tables. Then join is performed. So it is giving me only the 4 orders. You must have. I can't just say like this. So I'll say this way. I will say C name, comma, because OLAP must be having aggregation function amount. Say group by what? C name. Now tell me, C name is from which table? Customer table.
Customer ID.
Amount is from which
Customer
table?
table.
Yeah. Amount is from which table?
Orders table.
Orders table. So I'm reading. Am I reading data from single table or 2 tables?
2 tables. Reading from 2
Two
tables.
tables.
So when I'm reading data from two tables, will it execute the join?
Yes.
Yes, it will execute.
Yes. Yes. It
If
will
it
execute the join.
if it is executing join, what type of join will it execute?
Inner join.
No, reference join,
Inner join.
inner join.
Inner join.
So inner join means
Inner join.
those two tables were joined in the definition of the view. You actually joined those tables on which column? On customer number. So it has to pick up only the records of both these tables with the matching entry of the customer, right? So
Yes.
Yes.
so now if you look at order ID 8 with customer 77 does not have a matching entry in customer table. So this record will not be picked out. So look at this. Execute. What is the total amount value? What is the total amount value? What is this total amount? How much is it? 400.
400.
400.
Yeah, because order ID 1 and 2 was performed by customer Warner with the 200 value, and order ID 3 was performed by Mark with 100, and order ID 4 was performed with Bob, which is 100, right? Mhm. Now let's say I'm going with this way.
Yeah,
Now I go with
excuse me, someone. Hi, excuse me, someone making background noise actually.
yeah. Let me mute. Okay. First, see, I want to make it more discussive, but if I unmute, you're not muting yourself. So I'll unmute. You mute yourself so that when you speak, you unmute, speak, and you close it back. Okay. So now this, see, please. So now look at this query now. What I'm running now. I'm just saying select sum of amount. Now this time, am I reading data? This amount column is from which table was? Orders table.
Table.
Yeah, yeah. Let me speak. Okay, okay. You don't worry. Now, order amount is from only one table, which is orders table. So whenever I read data only from one table, so join should not be performed. If join is not performed at all, it has to pick up all the records from the table orders. Then if it is a sum of amount on that. So what should be a result? How much is it? 400, 500, 300, how much?
500.
500. Okay. Mhm. Let's see this. What is the result? 500. So now logically is my join getting executed, or it is just without any join operation it is reading all the data from orders tables. It is not executing a join at all. It is reading all the records from orders table. That is referential join. So join is executed only in the case when you read data from both the tables. Otherwise, no join is executed.
Here it is reading only from one table. I think.
Exactly. That's why you're getting all the 5 orders. Each
Yeah.
order value is 100. So the total amount is 500. Now,
Okay.
this time, okay. And when I go with customer name, when I say show me amount with respect to customer name, now since you're reading customer name from customer table, amount from orders table, it will perform the join, which will be inner join only with matching customer, same like inner join. Now it gives me only those 400 with 4 orders. You getting this? This is referential join this. And now the reference join is exactly working only in which view bus? In analytical view. Why? Because analytical view is executed with OLAP engine. Why? So referential join is recognized only by OLAP engine only. That's where referential join will make sense only when you're leveraging analytical view. Because in the calculation view, it does not behave, it only behaves like inner join only, no difference in calculation, because calculation engine does not recognize referential join. So it acts like normal inner join. Only in analytical view, it recognizes the referential join. Yeah? Fine. This is referential join. So next, I would like to go with text join bus. Okay, please. No. Yeah, yeah.
Any real-time practice of init join and referential join?
What is
Any
it?
difference?
Any
Is
difference?
there any practical?
You
Yeah.
tell me the difference, right? I gave you the
No,
example.
I got the difference.
Yeah, you got the difference. Okay, now look at this. Because that's what I'm saying. I will use this referential join. Say, for example, I am performing join for two tables where I want to check, say, the table 1 should have corresponding entry in table 2. I know for sure that table 2 will always have an entry relevant to table 1. I know for sure 100% the table 2 will have an entry of table 1. When I know for 100% sure, why should my system, and when you're reading the data only from table 1, why should I waste the affect the performance of the join just by cross checking the other table when I need data from table 1 only? So by using referential join, I can improve the performance because so I use referential join only in a case where I 100% guarantee the referential integrity between the two tables. Example would be header and item. Say I have an entry in item table, sales order. The corresponding sales order will be available in header, 100% guaranteed. In these kind of scenarios, when I'm trying to read data from table 1 or 2, either you perform join or not, obviously it will give you the result will be same because we are guaranteeing 100% about referential integrity between both, right? Ante what are the entries we have in table 2 will definitely have corresponding entries in table 1. Definitely data will be exactly matching in both the tables for sure. And when I'm trying to run a query only which is reading data from only one table, why should I perform join was unnecessary? Even if you perform join or not, obviously the result will be same. Why? Because I'm guaranteeing 100% referential integrity. You got what I'm saying?
So in that case, we can use only left outer join, right?
Why should I use left? No, what I'm saying, see.
Yeah.
Now what I'm saying is, so I have two tables, table 1, table 2. Okay. Understand table 1 is sales header. Understand table 2 as sales item. So sales header will have header information about each sales order. Item level table will have for each sales order what are the items. Now, can you ever in your life think about a scenario where we have item level details of a sales order in the item table, but this sales order is not maintained in the header? Can you ever have it like that?
No.
No,
No.
impossible. Okay, good. Right?
No.
Okay. Now question is, I am trying to run a query. Let's say we have joined these two, header and item. I'm trying to run a query which is where I'm reading quantity from item level table. Only from item level table I'm reading. Let's say even though you're reading only from table, you're still performing join bus. If you perform join or not, will there be any difference in the result? Because when you're guaranteeing 100% matching values in both the tables, whether you perform join or not, will there be any difference in the result?
No.
When I'm reading data only from the sales order item table, whether it performs join or not, will there be any difference in the output?
No. It
No.
will be the
There's
same.
no difference in output.
Okay, please mute. Yeah, no difference in the output. When there is no difference in the output, why should I waste my time and the performance of the system by performing join bus? In those scenarios where I want data only from item level table, let's not execute the join and improve the performance bus. Because whenever you perform a join, obviously the system has to execute certain process which will be affecting the performance. In those kind of cases, why should I execute join at all? Either you execute it or not, the result would be same. Why should I execute it first? I'll eliminate the process of executing the join by using a referential join. So I'll try whenever I read only from table 1, no join will be executed and system will be faster and gives result faster and improving the performance. This is referential join. Do you understand the exact scenario was?
Yes, sir.
అంటే మొదటగా తెలుగులో అంటే ఏ సిచ్యువేషన్లో అయితే జాయిన్ చేసినా చేయకపోయిన రిజల్ట్ ఒకటే వస్తుందో, ఎప్పుడైతే 100% రెఫరెన్స్ గ్యారంటీ చేసినప్పుడు అలాంటి సినర్ రెఫరెన్షియల్ జాయిన్ పెడితే ఒకే టేబుల్ రీడ్ చేసినప్పుడు జాయిన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయదు, చేయనప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్గా పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ స్పీడ్ అప్ అవుతుంది అంట. ఓకే,
Sorry, sir. Telugu Nadu.
I just repeated the same what I told in English as per the air comfort. Okay, but that was same
Right.
what I told in English. Okay, fine. The next let's get into the text join. Okay, and now let's take the requirement. Let's take the schema SAP HANA demo. Let's say I have this requirement. Okay, so I have this requirement. Will this be many? Okay. Let's see this. I have this table, business partner table. I see something called partner role, right? 1 and 2, 1 and 2. How many? For each partner, you see one unique number, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So let me see what is the total count of this. I can write some query. Write some SQL query. So getting say select. I can say count of star from will give me the dominant 45 records. So whatever I'm seeing is a complete 45 records. So starting from 0 till 44 is a unique number. Okay. And there are some with partner role 2 and there are some with partner role 1. Okay. But I don't know what is 1 and 2. So what they've done is they've given me something text here. Sorry, sir, not text. Okay. Constants. There is a table called constants. Yeah, there is, let's filter for this domain BP role. Only. Yeah. Imagine this is only the table where it says partner role 1. D indicates German language, it's Kund, but for partner role 1 in English, it is customer. So these are the, so whenever you see some tables which stores description in multiple languages like this, description columns in multiple, we call them as text tables. Imagine I have a text table like this. Right. Now I would like to join this partner role column with this text table to get their description about what is 1 and what is 2. So whenever I join this kind of scenario with text tables to get the descriptions which are in multiple languages, we go with text join. Let me show you this. Say new ZCV underscore. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me take this constants first. I don't want every constant. I just want to filter it only for my domain, which is that BP role only. So it will have those only 4 records. Then I go with join of what? Of the business partner. I have the business partner table, and this is the next node. So I would like to take the business partner table. Why it is having only this? Okay, not selected. So I want fixed value, language, and description. Then I would like to join the partner role with this fixed value column. So the column name is different, but the data element is same. So I'm going with what inner join. Okay, normal inner join. Let's see what happens. You select all these columns out, and I select this language and description. That's enough. Then project this out. I don't have any measures because it's a data categories dimension. So I want so its own default node is projection. Okay. Activate. Hmm. Now I'm going to look at the data. Now let's see what is happening. Can someone tell me how many records will I see here? How many records will I see? 4 records. See, there are totally 45 business partners. Okay. So how many how many,
Oh, okay.
what with data here? Yeah.
All 45.
So many. No, 45.
45. But it will show 90. Look at this. There's no data here. Mm, so when I don't get some data, I'll try to see where it is missing out. I'll check at each operation and then see where the data is not coming. Okay, there are 4 records here. Ah, I understand. Okay. Here the fixed value says 0102. What is the primary key in this table? Because it is 0102, there it is 1 and 2. All these are primary keys, huh? Can't really change this business partner. So here the partner role is not okay. Fine, I would say I'll try to update this table. There's some data inconsistency. First, update this table. Set partner role. Okay. I will set this partner role as 01, not 1. Okay. Where partner role is 1. Wherever it is now as 1, I want to update this as 01. These got special characters. So done, and upgrade this 02 with where partner role is 2. Okay, so now let's get it. Mhm. So now this gives me 4 records, which is filtering only on this BP role, which is 0102. Now my demo content should be if refresh. Instead of seeing 1, I'll start seeing 01. Then only one like okay. I start seeing as 02. Okay, now the join should be fine. Okay, now I get to see this join operation data preview. Now join is now let's see how many records you get. How many here? Am I getting 45 or 90? How many? I'm getting 90 records, right? Why? Look at this. Each pattern is coming for 2 times. 00, 22, 33, 4, 4, 5. Every pattern is coming for 2 times. Why? If I go to the right, it is coming once for German, once for English. German and English, German and English. Because inner join, like common values, right? Every matching value will be joined with every matching value, right? Because if you see, so you got 4 records like this, and I've got 45 partners here. It will take partner ID 1 with what? Partner role 0, 1 goes here. And for the 0, 1, it sees there are 2 records with 0, 1. One with English and one with German. So this record of partner 0 with 01 will match to both these two records, because inner join is matching, but it is matching is two records here. So it will match with every record like this. It will match with every record here, okay? And then gives me two records. You getting what is the problem here? You all understand this? Because when you see inner join, it does performs the join with all the matching values. Each matching value in table 1 is joined with every other matching value in the table 2, right? So it takes the record 1 of 0 1, takes and joins with record 1 here, and then same record of 0 1 is matched with the second record also, which, because the value is 0 1, it's matching out. Only thing is language is different. System does not know that. That's why it is repetitively joining once with German and once with English. That's where it is. We are doubling up the data, right? So how can you solve this problem? How can you solve this problem, boss? Anyone?
Maybe you should set a filter for the language.
Excellent, excellent. So what I do, I go to projection. I can set up a filter on the language. So I go to the language, and then I say, let's say you want English, fine. Then I say execute, right? And then if I try to see the data, see how many records you see now? 45 and
45 rows.
45, correct? And you get to see description in English, right? But the problem with this is your output is fine for an English customer, but German customer would not be satisfied with this. He says, I wanted to see as not customer, I wanted to see it as Kund, which is the German language. So what you do as what will be the solution again? When German customer comes in, again you will go to HANA modeling. You will say change. You will change it to what? German. Okay, and then activate. Then again you will show this output. Now you see the output. So he gets to see it as German code. Okay. Now again English customer comes in. Again what you do? Again you go to and they vote. Edit change filter. English. Say okay, okay. Then activate and show the output. And then show him the English. Like this every time a customer for now you see German and English, but there's a flexibility. SAP will support multiple languages. Let's say there are 10 languages like this. Every time a different user comes in, you keep modifying the view like this. You keep doing changes in the production environment. Will you keep changing the view like this? Is it correct?
No.
No. Back to change.
If I have to change like this, if I have 1,000 users, I'll have to keep changing almost every second. I must keep changing the view definition, which does not make sense, right? So what I want to do is, I want to put I have a requirement like this. So I would like to remove it here. Okay. Now, when I'm joining this, when I'm performing a join like this, I would say partner role to this fixed value is fine. Then I would like to have one more join which says the language column here in this table should be equal to the login language of the user. So will that work now? I'll say the join condition would be business partner dot partner role should be equal to fixed value, and language column should be equal to your login language.
Yes, it will work for as per the customer.
Exact. So as per the login, it works.
Yeah.
So that is the reason. That's the requirement. We go with the text join. Now look at this. Now I go in. How do I make that customize it? Sorry. Now I'll say now I would like to join the partner role to what fixed value. I would like to have what text join. Then immediately it asks me what is your language column in this table. What is the language? What is the name of the column which is having the language field? Language ED. Which column will tell you which language record it is? It language, right? So specify that as the language column. That's it. Now this language column will be used to filter out based on the login language. Okay, say okay. And now let's see the output. Now it's actually I've logged into HANA with English. Okay, so now let me see the content. It is only joining with English, and you see 45 rows. Why? Because if you see the HANA, my login language on local is okay, but there is this login language. Hmm.
Here only we need to change local.
It's locally, it's, yes.
See, now you get to see what. So based on the user login, it will basically take up the descriptions. That is your text join. You all understood about this? So whenever you want to join your descriptions, which are maintained in multiple languages, to your main dimension table, we go with the text join list. Okay. Good. Now let's focus on the concept of temporal join. For temporal join, I have two records here. I have some demo tables already with okay. So I have two tables here. Got temp cust 5, and there's a table called temp fact 5. Okay. Hmm. Now basically in the facts I have the assume this is the sales order or some sales. Okay. I got sales ID 1 and sales order ID 2. There are two sales orders or two sales transactions or two billing transactions, where the first billing value is 1200 and the second billing value is 2400. And this Z date is nothing but the date of transaction. The first billing was performed in the year 2014, January 15th. And the second billing transaction was performed in the year 2015 on Jan 15th again. So first billing was performed in the year 2014, Jan, and second billing was performed in the year 2015. But both are performed by same customer. Okay, good. Now from this customer C1, I can join to my customer table, which is customer master. So for C1, I see this information where it is time dependent. Where I've got country, I've got customer and the country, understand this country or state, where this state is keeps changing from time to time. So I've made that as time dependent with two columns, date from and date to. This customer C1 from January 1st, 2014 till end of the January 31st, 2014 is in Hyderabad. Same customer when he was from for the duration of Jan 1st, 2015 till end of Jan 31st, 2015 is in Bangalore. Is in what? Bangalore. You all understood the database? Clear? Right? Okay. Now let's see. I would like to get this data out. I'm going to create a calculation view. Cube. I would like to use measure, so cube is fine. Then I'll go join. You would like to join what? TM cust 5, and then TMP fact 5. So I'll go this way. Yeah, fact and this, and I would like to join. Fact, sorry, and swap it also. Fact is this, and this is my customer. So I would like to join this on the customer. Customer is my common column. I would say normal inner join is fine, and then okay. Select all this from this table. So since the data category is cube, I have measured, so at least one net value is my aggregated column, and all others. ID is attribute, and then activate. Tell me what is the output. What will be the output when I go in? These are my tables. Fact 5, the two transactions, and both are performed by same customer. And I see two entries of this customer C1 because of time, two different time intervals. So common, I've joined on the customer. So C1 is common with the C1 entry. So each common value will be joined with other, all the two other records, right? So if you see output, how many rows you will see was? You will see 4.
4.
Is it correct? Because of inner join, each record of customer C1 in table 1 is joined with every other record of C1 in the other table. So it is giving you multiple combinations of it, right? All the combinations of the C1, right? So that is a problem with inner join. You understand? You understood? But what I actually wanted is, I want to join customer with customer. That is fine, but I also want to check this date of billing against this date from N2. I would like to say join with the C1 to C1 and join where T1.C1 is equal to T2.C1 and T1.Z date should fall between the date intervals from date 2 and the date from N2. That's very again important. So easiest record makes sense. Customer C1 date of transaction is Jan 15, 2015 and validity is only 14/14 and item. Does this record make sense? No, right? Because this time interval is for 14 and the transaction is in 15. This does not make sense. And what about this record? The transaction date is in 2014 and the validity of this customer is from 15 for Bangalore. How can this be? Right? So now what I want to do is I would like to do this additional join effect here. Apart from inner join on customer, apart from the inner join on the customer, I also want to say the date of transaction should be between this date to and date from. Yeah. So that's where I'll say I'll go. I want to go temporal like normal. Now go to this temporal join. See, does this enable it here? I'm not able to perform this, right? Why? Because what what did I say? Only available in what? What is this? The temporal condition join is available only in analytical views. Okay. So same thing. I will try to apply it in analytical views. Create JTAN TMP join. Okay. Did I create attribute?
It's an attribute too.
Yeah.
Attribute views.
Okay. I take those two tables. So I take this fact and this. So create join fact and then I'm going to join with the customer. That's another okay, but I want to go with referential join. It's not recognized. Just select all this into the data foundation. In the star join, I would perform join. Mm, mm, I cannot use table here, so I have to go attribute view. One second. Don't worry, I'm just want to show you. I'm just creating some attribute view with all, because in the star join I cannot use the table, so I'd like to use attribute view. Done. So now here, okay. So now I'd like to perform the join. Now you can see the temporal joins. Data foundation, and here it is your temp. And then join with customer to customer, and I'll say referential join. Now I'll say what is the temporal column? Z date. Okay, referential or inner, you can do whatever. Z date. What is my from column here? Date from. And what is my to column? Date to. And the condition is where this date is between. So I'll say include or exclude.
Include.
I can include. So include both. And that's it. And then go here. Because ID should be attribute. So, active. So here now I get to see customer C1. The transaction which was performed in 2014 will show it as Hyderabad, and the transaction which is performed in 2015 will show it as Bangalore. So this is temporal join. When you want to join the key date with the date from and date to, we go temporal join, and it is available only in analytical view only. Okay. So this is about temporal joins. Yeah. Fine. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in latest versions we use only calculation views, right?
Because
In that case, we cannot use referential join as well as temporal joins in calculation views.
what is it? What is it? Sorry.
I mean, latest versions we use only calculation views. In calculation views, we cannot achieve temporal join functionality as well as referential join functionality as for calculation.
Actually, I told you in calculation view, see there is something with star join, right? There are option like star join. What I can do, I can just bring some projection. Temp. Same like how we're able to do it with analytical view, I can use this star join. Yeah? Then add a table. Or that Z. I can use this analytical view temp cust here. Z, CV, TMP, cust. I'll make this normal dimension like attribute view with that temp 5. Temp, and take all this and activate. Okay. Activate. Now go to this. Now get this into your star join. Now create a join here. Not getting enabled here. Yeah, basically, when you want the temporal join and all this, you get into analytical view. But still, what generally I do that way is I try to manage that with scripting. I can also write this way. Generally, what we do is say like table from say T1, say inner join T2 on where say T1 dot date 1 greater than T2 dot date from and and, and less than date. Generally, we can also handle it this way also. And we say T1 dot customer and equal to T2 dot customer and have multiple conditions. That is temporal joining, right? We can solve that with scripting. I was telling we have graphical based and scripting based. Any logic which you're not able to achieve with graphical, you get onto scripting. So that's not the problem. But when it comes to referential join, you have to get in. There's no workaround. It has to get to OLAP engine. Yeah. This joins because the video is running for a long time. If it's long, I'll not be able to upload. So that's what I'm worried. So done was tomorrow. So we're okay with joints, and tomorrow we'll get into much more flexibilities of calculation with all this. Or those parameters, variables, and view properties about hierarchies. All this will get into other options like creating calculated view, restricted columns, input parameters. Other options in that we'll get into more details of calculation tomorrow. Fine. Thank you.
Tomorrow we will have class?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll have class. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one question. It's a generic question, not related to this topic.
One second. Let me pause the video. Otherwise, it will go. The video will become big, and I'll not be able to upload. Let me pause it. Okay. Fine. Thank you.